Oh man. I like the stream title, but I have to change it just a little bit. Let's make sure stream actually works today. All right, test 1 2 3 microphone check. Okay, I can hear. That's good. All right. Let's pop this guy out. And we are in full force. ¿Por qué no os dois? All right. That's not a question for me. So I'm not gonna respond. If it was a question for me, I would, but hey, nice. SR Cat, we got another one. 2 people announced their Shopify allegiance today. Let me retweet this. Second person announcing SR today. Second step towards SR domination. Welcome SR Cat and SR Sharpie. All right, we got a bunch of people today joining Shopify. That's what you like to hear. That's what you like to see. Which I was going to talk about Shopify in a few minutes. I'll let stream catch up a little bit, but I do want to talk about Shopify. I want to talk about the roster. I want to talk about the potential mid laners, and then I do want to talk about why, regardless of how well Shopify do, we've already won the offseason. And I think that there was only one other team that I can remember. Well, technically 2. There have been 2 teams, one in 2013 and one in 2022, that won the offseason without necessarily like winning. I don't know. The Cloud9 one is kind of hard because they did win that year. 2023 definitely didn't win, but 2022 Cloud9, I mean, they got rid of LS. So I do want to talk about both Cloud9, 2022 Cloud9, and 2023 100 Thieves, because those are the 2 other teams that won the offseason and didn't technically win anything. It went poorly for them afterwards. So I do want to talk about that, and how Shopify can make it so that when they win the offseason this year, it actually translates to next year as well. Oh wow, that is a discussion and a half. Twitter is a very interesting place today. I saw the weirdest discussions in the world. But I'm not gonna go into politics. Um because yeah, politics is politics. Oh snap. That literally makes no sense. Alright. Uh let's begin. My stream topic. So did Shopify win the offseason? Before we start with win the offseason, because I personally have a different like definition of what winning the offseason even means. For me, winning the offseason is more about like fandom. I really emphasize fandom in teams, and that's part of the reason why even when Team Liquid's winning, I'm not necessarily a fan of them because they're not doing the things that I think. Well, they have started, but in general, like last year, think about them. They were actively going away against building fandom. What's the current SR lineup? Hey, Flower. Welcome. How you doing today? So the rumored roster is top lane we got Fudge, jungle we got Contracts, mid lane we got God who knows who, and then for AD carry we have Bevoy, and for support we have Seus. Now, if you don't know who Seus is a support who's won CB LOL a few times. I want to say 3 or 4, maybe 3 if I'm not mistaken, because he won. Wait, let's look this up. How many titles does Seus have? Seus LOL. I think he has 3. He was the support. I mean, you've seen him. Oh, not Seus. Seus. Those are very different players. He's you've seen him on Loud before. He was on Loud from 2021 up until this year, and I'm pretty sure he won the four titles with them, if I'm not mistaken. But let me just check his bio. It should have how many titles he has. Individual awards, no thank you. Uh, I mean, I'm pretty sure Loud just won 4 splits in a row. So he was on 2023. They won both splits. 2022 they won both splits. No. 2022 they won summer. 2023 they won both splits. 2024 they won spring. I think that's what it was. Regardless, he has like 4 titles. Um, and yeah, like some of those rosters, he was like the best player on the team. So he's not like a Titan. I feel like everybody knows Titan from Pain Gaming because he was like actively styling on like Gumayushi and Elk and like the biggest players in the world. Not many people know Seus, but he's still pretty good. And when we assigned Seus, I was already like, okay, we won the off season. Damn, that's a promising lineup. Depending on the mid, it could be top 4 territory. They were already super close last split. Last split a little bit further, I feel like, because of the whole jungle swap. But the first split, we were definitely like, dude, we were one Jojo Pune superhero move away from actually making it to playoff and knocking out NRG, and like I'm pretty sure we would have done better than NRG because we beat them 2-0 in this spring split. So that's neither here nor there. Um, yeah, I think that the roster is actually quite good. I think our bot lane is going to be strong. The thing about support in North America is like you have Core JJ, you have Busio. Vulcan's pretty much fallen off. The rest of the supports aren't that great. Like Zazel might be picked up by Dig. I don't know if Zazel's gonna have another split, but like he was okay. Ole, his spring split was amazing. His summer split, not so much. Huhi just like Huhi on NRG did not look anything like Golden Guardians. So yeah, the supports just weren't it, and so it makes sense to import support. Who could they get from mid though? Not sure what options they're left. They could run back Insanity. They could pick up Palafox. I think Jensen's another option. I would be surprised if we went Jensen, to be honest. But Jensen's another option. You could looking at importing. I don't think we would necessarily import, but if we're looking at the import window, if we want to go down to Brazil, we could import Chinones, who's a free agent right now. He's definitely going to re-sign with Loud. I'm just saying this to be annoying to the Brazilian fans, but yeah, I mean we could technically like import, but I don't think we're going to import. We'll see. Uh, I feel like within the next couple days we'll hear something, a rumor or something. I mean, the contracts we'll start seeing signed contracts in the next 2 weeks. So ironically, they were also one Jojo Pin away from next split from becoming a lethal threat. Yeah, yeah, we almost got Jojo Pin. We were quite close, but Jojo he picked Mad Lions. I don't know. I feel like it's a good move for him to become internationally known, but Shopify are the Canadian like team, and you're from Canada. I feel like you could have done a lot of content with that, but it is what it is. But the reason I say Shopify won the off season is pretty much because we picked up Contracts, Fudge, and Seus, and these three like all have really cool brands. Seus has the entirety of CB Law behind him. Revan is a fan favorite since his time on Flamengo. Brazilian fans really like Revan. They really like Bivoy because he was on Pain Gaming and he made it to the finals. And now we got Seus, who was like on Loud and won like 4 championships. We have like the Brazil trifecta. We have so many Brazilian fans. Revan has just been extended for 2 years. I don't expect him to go anywhere. I'm hoping we pick up more coaching staff. I'm hoping we pick up like Soaz. I think Soaz plus Fudge would be amazing. That would be really really cool to see. Uh, and then yeah, maybe a couple like performance coaches or something like that, a strategic coach, things like that. I think could go a long way towards like solidifying our structure. Just because we have 3 splits, so like you have less time to improve. You don't have like a whole year because then there's a break and then different patch and whatnot. So I think we have a lot of opportunity to grow in terms of fan base. We're also like the Canadian org. We're the only org that's based in Canada, right? We're based in Toronto. We have a huge facility there. MSI is in Canada. If it's going to be in Toronto, dude, it is over. If Shopify don't have, dude, I'm going to go there at MSI and I'm going to tell Shopify that we need to have a watch party every single day. Like every single day if it's not in Toronto. You need to have a watch party every like at least for the major like lower bracket finals, upper bracket finals, anytime NA is playing. If Shopify make it and we get to play there, dude, it's gonna go crazy. I can imagine things like watch parties with Simo Liu, like he's in Canada. I think in Toronto, I think we can do a lot of things. Also, like the Shopify team has grown a lot. Last split, it was a one-man show, and so that's why like our content didn't really hit. But this year we got like the whole, we have a huge facility, we have a bunch of different people that are going to be working with Shopify, and so like we have a much better plan for content. And you already see it. Like the people who used to be NRG and Immortals fans are looking for different teams, and guess which team is being talked about? Shopify. Uh, yeah, we Brazilian fans are gonna love us. Canadian fans are gonna love us. Like, and we're just gonna be a very very entertaining and very competitive roster, despite whether we finish top 3 or not. I know Worlds is only the top 2 spot. Like NA only gets 2 slots this time. So maybe we might finish third and just not make it to Worlds, or we might finish second and not make it to MSI. Like it's gonna suck. But at the end of the day, I think that we have a very competitive roster, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fans. Contracts is a lovable personality. People in general are like huge Contracts fans in NA, including the casters and stuff like that. They really like Contracts, which is actually OP because when people like Kobe and Azael and Captain Flowers like you, they're gonna talk about you a lot. When you're someone they don't really know, they're not gonna talk about you that much. And it shows. I know that David was very frustrated with people not talking about 100 Thieves when they had the reigning MVP. They finished second in Spring Split regular season, and people were just not talking about them because they weren't doing well. And it's like, you should be talking about why we're not doing well. We should be mentioned. It shouldn't all be the top 3 teams. What about us? And I think when you have players like Contracts, when you have players like Fudge, and you have like half the community's eyes are all going to be on us, they're going to talk about you. SR could really cement themselves as a top tier org in the new system if they play their cards right in the next 6 months. Yes, just like how exactly what FlyQuest did last year. FlyQuest was seen like no one really put them in that top tier. It was like CLG when it was still there, TSM, C9, and Team Liquid. Those were like the top 4. CLG left, NRG joined. NRG kind of like had the respect of CLG, so people kind of still put them as a top 4, but it was definitely the 4th. Then you had TSM. TSM was falling off, so maybe TSM was 4th and NRG was 3rd, but it was still Team Liquid C9. But then FlyQuest this year, just like all the content they did, all the creators that they signed, like the Metamorphosis, getting Basil on board, doing all the content that they were doing, having the players like with personalities, they did a lot. And now people are thinking like, oh, it's FlyQuest TL 1 and 2, and then C9's number 3. And how easy it is to like break into that top 3 when the top 3 aren't doing that much. Like, again, super proud and happy of what FlyQuest have done. I think they had an amazing marketing campaign. They did a great job. But the fact of the matter is, it was easy. They didn't have to do something, what's the word I'm looking for? Extraordinary. They didn't have to make a spectacle or something spectacular. They just had to do a good job. Because C9 weren't doing amazing. They didn't have any money, a budget for content. I mean, they did make some content, but it was some, like, I guess it was more than 2023. So I'll give them props for that. But they didn't have like a huge marketing plan for brand building. I'll call it a branding plan from now on. They didn't have like brand building. Team Liquid did. And I'd say like it's pretty successful because now they're number 1 and number 2. And yes, they are our number 1 and 2 teams. Don't get me wrong, that does help. But even when Team Liquid was 4th, people were still looking at that team. They finished the spring regular season 4th, and people were still like looking at that team. FlyQuest finished spring regular season 3rd, and people are like, oh, it's just Team Liquid and Cloud9. And yet people were still talking about FlyQuest more than Cloud9 and had faith in them. And like their fans were a lot louder. Even though they were fans of C9, they were pissed at C9. Even when C9 were winning, they were pissed. So I don't think you need to do something spectacular. It's just like what you said. If you just play your card right, you just have a solid plan, like an above average, like a good, like a B, for example, like 80% out of 100, you're chilling. Now, hopefully, Shopify will come out with like 100 out of 100. I'd love to see them like absolutely explode onto the scene. And I've talked behind the scenes with them about certain things that they could be doing and whatnot, and like stuff that we could be doing. Hopefully, moving forward, I'll be able to get more of their players on the off season. I would love to talk to Seus. My Portuguese isn't that great, so maybe I'll have a translator with me. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to really hyping people up. I have 3 videos, possibly 4th, depending on who we get on mid laner, that are showcasing our players like Contract, Seus, Fudge. I have a video that's going to come out in English, basically saying like why you should be Shopify fans. That's probably going to be my pilot episode of the new like show that I've been talking about, the Rebellion. And then I also have a like 2 to 3 minute video that's going to be in Portuguese that I don't expect to do as well as like the other videos. It's not about like the viewership. It's more about like, this is why you should be a Shopify fan. And I'm probably going to post it on Twitter as well. And it's going to be in Portuguese. And I'm going to try to like welcome a lot of the Brazilian fans. So I think we are in a very good position in terms of growing our fandom. And if you think about it, Clutch came in, Clutch, Dignitas, Echo Fox. There's so many teams. Optic at some point, like Immortals, what other team? NRG as well, I guess. There's so many teams that like came into the league. I know I'm forgetting like a bajillion teams because we had so many teams come in and leave and come in and leave and get bought and whatnot. And they never like managed to break in. or to be like relevant. 100 Thieves for a while, because they won, were there. But then as soon as they stopped winning, as soon as they got rid of that Huhi FBI closer roster, they kind of sort of just stopped winning. And since 2023, like they definitely don't have 2023 was a different story, but they don't have the same brand that they used to have. And that's one thing that I don't want Shopify to fall into. I don't want Shopify to be a team that only is relevant when they're winning. I do want Shopify to be a team that is always relevant. And I think that we are setting ourselves up so that even if we don't make it to MSI, even if we don't make it to First Strike, even if we don't make it to Worlds, we have people that are fans of us that are constantly like cheering for us. They can cheer for an A, but we're still building fans during these off seasons. We still have like a passionate fan base. What I want to see is like, let's just make up numbers. Right? I don't know exactly what the viewership is, but like, let's say you have a game, random game. Let's say 100 Thieves versus Lions, right? Or let's say one of the bigger 100 Thieves versus C9. You have 40,000 people watching. Then you get Shopify versus anyone. It doesn't matter. It's 100K plus. Then you go on to the next game, and it's back down to 40, 30K. Like, I want us to demonstrably be the team that everybody just wants to watch. And that when we start playing, everyone's watching. Just like TSM. Like, if you had a game between Phoenix 1 and Team 8, no one would watch. But then you watch TSM play against anyone, even if it's against. Ow, that hurt. Ow. I'm gonna put that away. I stabbed myself. Ow. Dang, I'm an idiot. God. That would be a good move. I hope you can become the bridge between the NA scene and the Brazil scene. You're the right person for that. I hope so too. I really want to improve my Portuguese so that I can be that bridge. I think we have other people who speak English and Portuguese that might be that for a while, but at least from the American perspective, I hope to be that person. Same way KC fans and MDK fans are insanely passionate about those two teams despite not winning anything yet. Yeah, absolutely. Especially KC fans. Like KC fans were watching even when they were like 0-6, and they still loved that team, and that's what I want to happen. Like, how many people watched Giant X play, even when they were like when they had a better record than KC or MDK? People didn't watch them. So that's my goal for Shopify this year. I really think that we can establish ourselves this year going into 2026. I think we're just going to be in such a solid place. I'm not going to say we're going to be top 2 in terms of viewership this year, but going into 2026, like that's my goal. 2025, solidify yourself as a top team. And by a top team, I mean like I want to be demonstrably different than the other teams, which means like if you have the bottom teams playing, normally viewership is always lower. I want that not to be the case for Shopify. I want us to always have like a bit of a higher, like towards the average, not the low. And then moving into 2026, I hope that we can surpass teams like Team Liquid, Cloud9, and FlyQuest. I don't think it'll be too hard, to be honest, because I really do like the team that Shopify has put together, and I think over the next month, there are going to be certain announcements that will definitely draw in more viewers who might not necessarily have a favorite team, they just like players, to now have a favorite team. So yeah, that's why I said we won the offseason. Even if we finish 4th, even if we don't finish top 4, we finish 5th, I still think we won the offseason. Just with everything that's been going on. Also, the rumor is, I don't know how true this is, but the rumor was, oh, I am bleeding. Oh well. The rumor is Bin, like the whole BLG roster is going to run it back. I could not be more excited. The other rumor is that T1 is doing everything they can to make sure that they run it back. So we might get BLG versus T1 at First Strike, MSI, and Worlds. That would be phenomenal. The other rumor is that Ruler is going to Gen G, and that makes a lot of sense. Maybe we don't see BLG versus T1 because Genji is gonna destroy them and get their revenge against T1, especially with Ruler. And like, yeah, I don't know about that. That is a little scary, but it is very exciting to have two different teams like that. Do you think many Northern LTA pros will go south for easier competition? Um, hmm, I don't think so. I don't actually think so. I don't know about many. I wouldn't be surprised if like two or three of us end up going down there, but I don't think we'll get many for a couple of reasons. One, normally when you import, you kind of just import from Korea. That's what that's where they're scouting. They're bringing in Korean coaches who know Korean players. Like they're not necessarily scouting from North America. That's the first reason. The second reason is like depending on the team, you just don't speak Portuguese. So it's just hard to communicate anyways. So if you're going to get a player, why not get a Korean player who has language barrier issues than an English speaking player who has language playing the third reason is like I don't know that they would look highly enough towards North American players the same way they look towards Korean players. I just don't think that they have that level of scouting that they can find a UG or someone like super hype rookie. And if you're looking at pros, I just don't think that they're gonna do it. The salaries are way less, so as a pro player, you I don't know. I don't think that it's gonna happen. I think some of our players might go. Like for example, if Licorice doesn't find a spot, maybe he goes. Maybe a Jensen goes or something like that. Someone like they've seen internationally and like respect him heavily. But am I gonna see like our NACL players going down there? I doubt it. Also, one reason we actually see a Brazilian player coming joining the North of the LTA is literally because we had a player from there. Like we have Revan, who brought in B-Boy, who again played in LPL, played in LCK, played in like EULCS. Yes, he's not just a CBLOL player, but he picked him up from the finalists of CBLOL. So he did pick them up from CBLOL. And what's it called? The other team. And now, yeah, so Revan used to play in the CBLOL too. So like he has some level of knowledge, and we don't have that many players or coaches the other way around who like played in LCS but now are coaching in CBLOL. We don't have that much. We actually have quite a bit of a connection between EU and CBLOL. Like there have been a lot of coaches and players that have jumped between both leagues, but we haven't seen that with NA. Um, Seus is kind of scary. I agree. I think Seus is so good. Hey, Trespasser, welcome, welcome. Also welcome, Joseph. I don't know if I said that earlier, but yeah, Seus is just brand name alone, and the fact that literally all of Brazil is going to be behind Shopify now. Not just that. That's another thing. So VCT Game Changers, Shopify like won an event there, and Brazil was like cheering for them very loudly, and like they're interacting with Shopify socials to begin with. So now just having another game where we have a Brazilian player, the first Brazilian player to be imported. Also, like one thing that needs to be said, they actually bought him out. Seus is a four-time, I'm pretty sure four-time. He is a multi-time CBLOL champion. He attended like Worlds play-ins yet last year. He attended MSI, and he's not even like he was going to be in tier 2 because he was under contract with Kaboom, and no one could afford the buyout. And so literally Shopify saved him. And so a lot of Brazilians are happy with that. It's not like they're mad at us for taking their favorite player. They're actually happy that he gets to play in a tier 1 region and make Brazil proud, because otherwise he would have been in tier 2 because he's contract jailed and the buyout was just massive. So that's another thing. Like they're going to look at us at a positive light. It is a very smart move to do that and not just take like a Titan or a Chinones, right? Like if we were to take those players, they would be so pissed and call them traitors and whatnot. But the fact that we took Seus, who just wouldn't have had a team, a tier 1 team, they're actually grateful and thankful, which counts a lot. Um, Trimby going there was crazy. Yes, Trimby going there. I was saying earlier that EU has had a little bit more relationship with like Peter Dunn used to work there, and Coach Seal like obviously went there. I guess he also played in NA. But yeah, we've had a lot of experiences between EU. Like Malrong played in EU and then went there. Same thing with Bevo. He played in EU and then went to CBLOL. Like I guess technically he went to LLA and then CBLOL, but yeah, he's done a lot. Do Southern LTA share world spot with Northern? Yes, they do. So they are guaranteed one slot. North LTA is guaranteed one slot, and the last slot you have to fight for it. Um, so basically, the number one seed from NA will make it. The number one seed from SA will make it, and then the best performing team will get that spot after these two. So if like NA1 and SA1 are both ranked 1 and 2 at the end of playoffs, then number 3 will get that third slot. But if like NA1 is like 6th and SA1 is 6th, then number 1 in playoffs will get that third slot and they will be first seed. Like the seeding's a little weird. It's a quite a weird um the whole thing about it is weird, honestly. The whole like, okay, who's gonna pick who? When do you get to pick when? Like, it's really weird, to be honest. I'm very confused as to the format. I think I have a pretty good understanding now, but even with my pretty good understanding, I'm still like confused about certain things. Like, who gets at the end of day one? Who gets to select who? The losers get to select the winners, but like, who gets to go first? I don't think they ever mentioned that. And then like when it swaps, do you still not are you still not allowed to do repeat matchups? I'm just yeah, it's confusing. If you go 3-0 and 2-1, like yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that as we get closer, they will give us like more concrete things with examples and visuals that we can like understand the format better. Um but yeah, we share world spots, we share MSI. So in the spring split, so in split two, we have zero NA and Brazil like interaction. North and South LTA do not interact. All that happens is you just have a regular split, best of ones, as if it's last year, spring. Nothing's changed. We'll have our bracket, go into playoffs. The winner of that, which will probably happen in LA, I doubt it'll happen. It'll be a roadshow. We'll go to MSI. Same thing for CB Law. No interaction. It's just split one and split three where CB Law and NA actually interact. They need to explain things properly? Absolutely agree. Would you rather be a Southern LTA player that goes to Worlds or a Northern LTA second best team that doesn't go to Worlds? Oh, definitely Southern LTA player. Because that just means you. Oh, I guess technically you could have like been sixth seed in total. Well, no, because we're only sending 3 teams, so you could have been like fourth overall. You could have had like NA 1, 2, and 3, and then SA 1, and that would be like the fourth seed, and you make it to Worlds because you're from SA. Would I rather be that, or would I rather be the second best LTA team that doesn't go to Worlds? Honestly, from a brand from a player perspective, I would much rather be a Southern LTA player that goes to Worlds because Worlds is such an invaluable experience. If you think about it, the same players go a lot, and very few players get to like break into that. Like, think Contracts went to 2017. He didn't go in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He didn't go for 5 years and then made it again 23, didn't make it in 24. Like, Contracts is a great North American player. And he wasn't even starting a lot of times. So it's actually quite a rare thing to happen unless you're the double lifter, Bjergsen, or Impact who just goes all the time. It's kind of monopolized by some of the great players. So if I'm a player and it's like I'm trying to get world experience and practice against the best teams in the world, I would definitely take Southern LTA player that goes to Worlds. In terms of brand, I think I might actually prefer to be a Northern LTA player because if I'm building my brand in NA, that's probably what I want to do. And even if I don't make it to Worlds, I can still like I would try to make content around Worlds, around my experiences, and I think that I could shore things up with content talking about NA and SA and become like a fan favorite going into the next year. So in terms of like brand building, for an NA player, it makes more sense to not make it to Worlds than to make it Worlds on a Southern LTA player, LTA team, because I'm assuming you're living and breathing in NA. Like that's where you want your fan base to be. If you're okay being playing in SA and you're like, yo, I love Sao Paulo, I want to live there for the rest of my life, then yeah, maybe even then you pick Southern LTA player that goes to Worlds. But besides that, if I'm like contracts or if I'm like, you know, I don't know, like a Palafox or an Insanity, like I would rather not make it than go to CB Law and make it and be second best. Like it's not like I'm last place. Like no, I was the second best team. But I'm pretty sure most pros would say Southern LTA player that goes to Worlds because they just care about making Worlds. They don't really care about their brands. I would be very surprised if someone were to say, "Oh, like I don't care about my brand." Sorry. Oh, I care about my brand. So like I'd rather be second and not make it Worlds. I don't think most pro players would pick that, but personally, that's what I would pick. I like that question. What would you pick, Joseph Lee? Joseph Lee, the developer, as opposed to Joseph Lee, the initiator. Joseph Lee, the CEO. There apparently are many Joseph Lees. I am not playing with this. I stabbed myself. I'm still bleeding. My God. Um, World 2026 is happening in 2025 is happening in China, which means 2026 is happening in NA. Now, maybe if we're talking about Worlds 2026, then I might say I would be a Southern LTA player. I just want to make it to Worlds because I'm going to be playing in front of NA. That might be an exception, but in general, like NA teams perform better as well, and you probably want to be on a team that's not losing to GAM, that's not losing to like minor region. To be honest, making Worlds could make you set for life if you have a good performance. So most would take that. Define good performance. In general, our good performances look really bad because you're up against the best teams in the world. You're not up against some of the like very good teams, but not the best in the world, right? So like even when contracts had an amazing worlds last year, I like he's not seen he's not set for life, I would say. Like in 2017, he had an amazing run at Worlds, made it to quarterfinals, almost beat WE. Like they were almost semifinalists. They were one game away. It was like a 3-2. And even that game 5, I'm pretty sure they could have won. So it was very close. And then he went to Golden Guardians and like his career kind of disappeared until NRG like or CLG picked him up. So I don't necessarily agree with that, to be honest. There have been many players that have went to Worlds and like look at Dokla. He went to Worlds and now like is a team actually going to pick up Dokla? Masu is now a powerhouse AD carry in the region after his performance in Worlds. Everyone will dream of just getting the opportunity to maybe pop off. That's very rare. It is very rare for someone to go to Worlds and pull a Masu. Very, very rare. Like, think of all the other 80. Think of like, okay, we sent Tomo to Worlds. He didn't have the greatest performance. We sent Quid. His stock is so down after what Quid did. River, like all of 100 Thieves, their stock is so much down despite making it to Worlds because it's so competitive there. Flamengo, yeah, Flamengo. I'm not a Flamengo fan, but I like their hoodie. Are you a Flamengo fan, Wayne? Or are you like Botafogo fan or what? Yeah, there have been a lot of people who went to Worlds and just had bad performances. Or like look at Demonte. He made it to Worlds, then went to that Golden Guardians team, and then went to 100 Thieves and got dropped. Like and then had to just be a coach. Like he wasn't necessarily set for life. So I don't know. I think that mm, I think it's more often than not that you will underperform at Worlds than overperform. I think Masu is the exception that proves the rule. Now I just watch BRTT. Ah, okay. Dang, bro. BRTT days were fun. He's cool. I saw that maybe who's trying to pick up BRTT? I forget. It's a double-edged sword for sure. It could be it could break or make your career. Yes. So many Worlds players get replaced after poor performance in Worlds despite owning the competition domestically. Yeah. So many players are like, dude, I was the best top laner, but like against Bin and Zeus, I look like crap. So I don't know. I don't know. It's and then people are like, oh, why did we send Fudge instead of Impact when Impact was like ninth on FlyQuest? And Fudge was like made it to the finals. And people are like, oh, we would have preferred to have Impact. And I was like, I don't know. He didn't beat me. So I don't know why he would do better. If I am single, I'd go south because it'd be easier to build a brand name, and Southern Conference will probably get bigger and bigger over time. Plus, getting international play will make me a hero. That is true. But then your whole fan base would be a Southern fan base. So if you're like trying to build in the South, then yeah. Joseph thinking ahead, he ready for those Brazilian girls with Sao Paulo? They are very passionate. You will see them in thrives, um, in CBLOL and in the stadium, in the arena is what I mean. Amen, brother. But no, so Wayne, he said if he were single. So I'm assuming Joseph isn't single. So he wouldn't do that. But if he was, he would be ready. I don't think we have a single LCS player that has like a child. We have a few married pro players. Um One, I'm not sure if he's gonna compete next split, but for example, like we have Core JJ, he's married. We know about that. He's really the only. There's another player, but I don't know if he's gonna start or not. Besides him, like most of them have girlfriends. That's the plan for me then. She. All right, Wayne. What rank are you? We gotta see that solo queue to make sure that you can get on a team. Um, but for example, Titan, Chitan, right? He's he's married and has a kid. I think he's married, but he has a kid. Would you say the fan culture is surrounding league is more advanced in Brazil than in A? I would say so, to be honest. I don't. Okay, define advanced. I think they're more passionate than we are because their teams do a better job at creating fandom, and because the people themselves are have a fandom culture. Like Brazil, Brazilians are their culture emphasizes fandom. So even if it's like the smallest indie like band you will find, they will be very passionate. Bronze 5 peak season 4. Wayne, we got to get you some coaching. If your plan is to make it to Sao Paulo and play CBLOL to build a brand for yourself, I think we got to get you at a bronze 5 first. Well, congrats, you're probably bronze 4 now. No, you're probably iron 4. Football like fan culture? Yeah. So, yeah, I do think it's more advanced, but it had advantages of being in Brazil, and Brazil like is a country that really emphasizes fandom. Um, and also they were just better at making content and driving that fandom. So it's like they had better opportunities, but also had better. They took advantage of that opportunity better than North America. North America could have been like that. We really could have been like that. Look at Optic. Those fans are crazy. They love Optic to death. We could have done that in League with TSM, with Cloud9, with CLG, and yet we took all that venture capital money and forgot about our fans and like said screw you to them. We have like $200 million. Who cares about you guys? We have $1 billion facility. Who cares about like yeah, it was or a $10 million facility or whatever it was, $100 million deal with FTX, and they didn't care about their fans anymore, and it showed. It hurt, and the fans kind of went away because you weren't investing in the league. Whereas CBLOL, like I was looking at Seiyu's stuff, right, and literally I went on Loud And every week there's like 3 or 4 videos coming out with so much content from the CBLOL players. Not a single North American team has done that. Not one. And this is just for years they've been doing this. But Shopify is going to be that team. Problem with TSM is that their entire brand was about being winners. The second they stopped winning, their value went down instantly. Well, that's the thing with winning. I agree with you. That's what Team Liquid are trying to do. Like Team Liquid are trying to be the winning brand. But what you do is not just be when you win, you have everybody's attention. And that's when you can make people fans of you. The easiest, right? Because you already have people watching you. They have their eyes on you. And they might become fans of you because you won, because you did something cool. And what TSM did was like, oh, we're just gonna keep winning. We don't have to like invest in the things that we used to invest to have fandom. Flower, that's exactly what it's all about. Yeah, and that's not how that works. That's not how it should work. You should take those. You should win, and then take those fans and make them loyal fans, so that when you lose, they're still your fans. But TSM was like, no, we're just not gonna stop winning. And guess what? They stopped. When TSM win, we win. I like that. And yeah, that's what Team Liquid should be doing. That's what FlyQuest have been doing. That's what Cloud9 should have been doing. You should constantly be creating fandom so that regardless of whether you win or lose, people still want to be fans of you. And then when you win, people are even more fans start entering your fold. And when you lose, like you still have those fans. I watched 10 years of TSM Legends only to see it get worse. Yeah, worse and worse in production as the team kept losing. It's not even like just as the team kept losing. Like, they just fired a bunch of people. Like the amount of people they used to have working on TSM Legends, and then they only had one person by the end, and he had to do the whole thing, and like it was super bland, and he was trying his best. He was quite good at what he was doing, but like it was nowhere near what it used to be. And the other thing is like, guess what? When content changes, no one's going to be sitting out here watching Ice Bucket challenges for hours. Whereas in 2010, everybody was watching the Ice Bucket challenge. It was like going viral. Everybody, maybe it was like 2013. I don't know. But things ebb and flow. And if you like try to do things that used to work in the past, it's not going to work anymore. That's like putting an ad in a newspaper. How many people are going to see that? No one, right? Even the people that see that don't actually care. Like the ROI for a newspaper ad is so low because that's not where content is anymore. That's not how content is done anymore. You have to respect the age that we live in. You can't just pretend like we're still in the 90s or still in the early 2010s. So TSM, with their content, they just didn't evolve, and you need to evolve. Imagine T1 becoming a TSM once Vega retires. I don't think that'll happen. But look at T1. Look at the content they're coming out with. After every game, they're coming out with content. Literally, after every game, like a day later, they're coming out with content. They're coming out with voice comms. They're coming out with this. They have like all these different what are the documentaries and behind the scenes. They have they came out with their own chants for each one of their players. They have like a video with a chant. They do so many things in terms of content, in terms of creating fandom. They also attend so many different events. They have like meet and greets. They're always doing things, whether it's in season or out of season. And TSM never did that. Maybe 2013 TSM, 2012 TSM did stuff like that, like with Bay Life and whatnot. Sure, early on. But ever since like 2015, maybe even 2014, yeah, they didn't really do that stuff. T1 did insane job at building up the brands of Zeus, Owner, Guma, Keria. Yeah. Tons of docus and content. Yeah, absolutely. Also, their players streamed. It was in their contract, they had to stream up until like the DDoS thing, right? But they were always streaming, so you could always go to chat and talk to them and just watch them play. And let's just look. Let's go to Twitch right now. All right, Twitch. And let's see how many professional players are streaming. Speak is streaming. Thanatos, Tactical. Double. He's retired. Chaden isn't playing. Sneaky's retired. Stunt's retired. Boxbox playing. Yeah, literally like three pro players. Some academy players, like 1, 2, 3. Sure, you have 3 pro players that are streaming. Where are Fudge on contracts? Where's B-Boy at? Right? Like, where are Bippo and Inspired and Masu and Busio? I think Busio streamed the other day, but like, where are you guys? Where's Quad? Where's Quid? Sniper has been streaming every day. Like Jojo has been streaming every day. But where's River? Where's Tomo and Ayla? Where's XU? Where are these players? They're not streaming. They're not building brands for themselves. They don't have YouTube channels. They don't have TikTok channels. They're not doing stuff. And when you look at T1, all their players are doing that. TSM lost everything, including lost, by the way. They lost content creators like Myth and Apex Legend Goat, like Imperial Hall. Oh, I didn't know they had an Apex Legend Goat. Not to mention Bjergsen. Yeah. TSM, yeah, Leffen's like the only thing left. Leffen, I'm still a fan of Leffen. I watched Shopify only because XTSM member were on it. Yeah, like Insanity and Boogie, right? Those are the two that we kept. And Revan, I guess. Who remember the good old days of 5 members of TSM streaming on Twitch, averaging 20k viewers? I remember. It was so cool. Dude, when Bjergsen was streaming back in 2015, 2016, like even 2014, dude, I loved watching his streams. I would watch his streams and then watch the YouTube video that used to come out after a week. With clips of his streams. Corja J and APA had a bet, and the loser has to stream the entirety of December. Dang, kind of unfortunate they see streaming as a punishment instead of being an opportunity to build brand. I think they do see it that way too. Like from talking to them, I think they do understand the importance of streaming. At least, what's the jungler's name? Not Inspired, man. Umti sees it that way. But like, when was the last time Impact streamed? I don't know. Yan was streamed during MSI, I think. And Worlds, like you had core streaming, you had some pros streaming. I think they do understand it. Like, look, I'm not against you taking a break, but at some point you should be streaming, especially during the split. You have time to stream. So yeah, like that's why is Palafox okay? Dokla was streaming. Dokla streams pretty consistently, if I'm not mistaken, even during the year. But like Palafox, Contracts, FBI, Huhi, why aren't you streaming? They already made enough money. I don't think there's incentives to stream. There absolutely is. Doesn't Buppo average 4K viewer feel like he's a bad example? He's just on vacation right now. I mean, he didn't stream during spring split or summer split. He streamed during off season, sure, but he did not stream during the spring split. And he streamed like what, 4 or 5 days before Worlds, went completely ballistic and then stopped streaming. He streamed during 2023, but during 2024, I don't think he streamed that much. But like there is a reason, an incentive to stream. First of all, a lot of these players did not make a lot of money because salaries have went down a lot. So they're not even making enough money. Second of all, guess what? When you have a brand, people will pick you up, even if you're not good. The only reason people picked Spica, Dignitas picked Spica over XU and dropped XU is because Spica has a bigger brand. If XU was averaging 2K viewers, they would not, for the life of them, get rid of XU. It would make no sense. It would piss off their fan base. They just wouldn't. So, hello, Mix. Don't think people like APA have made enough money to not care about building brand? Or maybe he had a skin as well, and that helps. Yeah. Low-key flex. I was playing against Fudge in ARAM match. Dang. And I got crushed by him. He was Nidalee and did not miss spears, bro. He was so good. Dang, that's so cool. I don't actually check the names when I play against ARAM, so I wouldn't even know if I played against a pro player, but that is hella cool. What were you playing if he was Nidalee? But you absolutely could be making brands for yourself. And not just that, like, first of all, I don't think the idea of like, oh, I made enough money, I don't care about it. Like, if you tell a pro player, would you take a $200,000 contract or a $400,000 contract? They would always say 400K. So why are you leaving $200,000 on the table and not building a brand for yourself so that maybe when you retire, maybe when you don't find a team, you have an alternative instead of, oh, I don't have an alternative. Let me stream. Oh, I'm streaming to 30 people. Oops. I'm streaming to 70 people. Like, that's still not enough for me to be full-time and make money and live in California and also go pro. Like, you just can't. So, yeah, I don't see it that way, at least personally. Tactical streaming. I haven't seen tactical streams since like spring split, I think. It's been a while, huh? Oh, he's streaming with Cam as well? Dang, bro. That is new. But yeah, people need to really emphasize building brands because we look at people who build their brands, they grow. We look at people who don't build their brands, they don't grow. It's like so obvious. Jojo Puna has tons of viewers, the second he started streaming in Europe. Yes, absolutely. That was very smart by Jojo. Like very, very smart. He didn't stream while he was in an A, and now he's like, oh snap, maybe I need to build myself a brand. Maybe being the best isn't the only option. I forgot, but I couldn't play because our team was zoned out by him the whole game, just single-handedly zoning you out as a what's that guy's name? As a Nidalee? Dude, Nidalee is a fun character in ARM. You just throw spear after spear after spear, and they just like get chunked for 1k HP, and they're like, what the hell? You have like Horizon Focus Ludens. You just get like a full pen build. You go like Sork Boots, you go Shadow Flame, you go Storm Surge. It has like 15 pen. That's like what, 42 pen right there? Because your boots have 12. And then Shadow Flame has 15. Storm Surge has 15. That's 30, right? And 12, that's 42. Yeah. And then you have Ludens for the extra proc. Yeah. Honestly, it's a lot of damage once you hit a spear. I've had situations where I kill people just with the trap. I'll put like 3 traps in a row and then just step on all 3 and die. But yeah, Noli is fun. I don't know. In my opinion, even if you're on vacation, like literally at streaming an hour a day, 5 days a week, is not that much to keep your like. It really isn't a lot. We need to bring back LMQ. Okay, I don't know if that's ever coming back. Wait, as a guest team for NA, like every year we rotate in Korean Chinese teams into LTA, like a foreign exchange program. I don't know how that would make money. I feel like the team would not make any money doing that. But yeah, I need Vasily back in the league. If only he didn't punch his wife. Oh my god. Yeah, that was very awkward. Um, no comment. Yeah, I'm hoping that teams like Riot has done a much better job. Will export Immortals, dude. They won't approve. They will like at the border, like customs. They'll be like, no, no, thank you. We don't want this. This is like, you can have it. No thanks. Um, I don't think anyone wants the Immortals brand, man. Even Riot didn't want Immortals. I'm pretty sure they were like, thank goodness they took they were probably hoping that Immortals and like Dignitas were the ones to leave, not what you call it, Golden Guardians and EG when they left. They were definitely hoping Immortals were gonna leave. I mean, look, 100T want to leave. They sold their spot, and Riot was like, it's not a good look. Can we not? Can you guys not leave this year? Just give it. We'll buy the slot. You can still play, and then next year you can leave once we give it to someone else. But don't leave, please. Can you check this, Cloud? Check what? Is it just during off season? Because I do remember a fair bit of Whippo stream, but a certain isn't every week. Sure. Let's go to Whippo. I do follow him, so it should show up. Whippo lol. It should show like his last streams, right? Okay. Recent broad. What the hell? What is? Oh. Okay. Let's look at his recent broadcasts, right? Last month he streamed 5 times, 6 times, seven times, yeah. And then 2 months ago he streamed a bunch. This was like when he was doing the in houses. Oh, it doesn't show beyond the beyond these guys. Oh, it doesn't show, unfortunately. Like it only shows the past 2 months. He did stream quite a bit, like during Worlds. Don't get me wrong. And like he's definitely better than other people at it. But I'm pretty sure during spring and summer he didn't stream that much. I don't know. Maybe I'm trolling. Now Winston single-handedly inflated the whole LCS market. Yeah, because he was overpaying all those players that one year. I feel like it was gonna happen eventually, but it was gonna happen like much more slowly. And yeah, that was not fun. And then every team followed suit. Doesn't let me send Twitch tracker URL. Oh, Twitch, or I'll just go Twitch tracker, and then I'll go Whippo. I can probably find him. It's Whippo lol if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all right. Let's look. In the past 3 months, he streamed 71 hours. I'll just bring this here. He streamed 71 hours, which means, does it say how many times he went live? He was active 13 days out of 92. If I look at the past, is there a way to see yearly? I just want to see 2024. Okay, all time. And then there's a graph here. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, oh, over here. There we go. Yeah, so like January he streamed, February he didn't, March he streamed a bit, April he definitely didn't stream, May he didn't stream, June he streamed, July he didn't stream, and then August when like World Boot Camp and stuff he streamed, and then September like he really didn't stream after Worlds. So he was on and off. I'll give you that much. He was on and off, which is better than most pros. Most pros are always off. So oh, you can look at streams. Oh snap! It actually gives you like a whole chart. Oh, okay. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so 24, he streamed a bunch in January, not much in March, and then, wait, no, in February it was like a few days. March was 3 days. April is when he really streamed. May he streamed like 4 days. June he streamed 4 days. July he streamed 4 days. August he streamed 1 day. And then September was when he did all his streams. And then October he streamed 1 day. Interesting. I thought, all right. Oh, it even tells you every single individual stream. Dang. That is quite cool. I didn't know that we have that technology. Uh, that $7 million Sword Art contract still hurt me. Yeah, that was okay. This is a public story, so a little bit of lore. The roster that had Sword Art had Huni in top lane, Spica in the jungle, Power of Evil in mid lane, Sword Art as support, and then the AD carry. They wanted Doublelift, and they were close to getting Doublelift, but because of beef between Reggie and Doublelift, they didn't end up going Doublelift. But they were supposed to go Doublelift. Why? They had an academy player. That academy player's name was Lost. Lost and EG made an agreement that Lost would be sent to EG because EG wanted Lost as their AD carry back in 2021. And TSM was like, yeah, we'll give you Lost. Sure, awesome. And then free agency period opened up and they're like, all right, can we get Lost? And they're like, sure, we'll give him to you. And they didn't give him to him. And the split kept getting closer and closer. And they're like, yo, can you send us the papers for Lost? Because he's our starting AD carry. They're like, sure, we'll send it to you next week. Next week comes around. They're like, actually, we're starting Lost now. And then they're like, EG is like, wait, what? But we built a roster with the idea of him being our AD carry. It's like, no, he's starting for us. And then he ended up starting for TSM. And EG was like, okay, well, there's our starting AD carry. What do we do now? And they're like, well, let's just promote our Academy AD carry, who was definitely at that time. Oh, God. What is Noah Winston up to these days? Is he still involved with League? Not that I know of. I mean, I could take a look and see if he's actually involved in any way, shape, or form. Noah Winston. No, it's showing me the other Noah. Oh wow, I straight up can't. I mean, he has a Twitter account. Retired founder. Okay, so it doesn't look like he's actually doing anything since he's retired. He just retweets people's stuff. Does he actually tweet anything? Yeah, he doesn't even tweet. He just retweets stuff. Come on, man. You're bound to tweet something, right? Not even a single tweet? In the past year? Yeah, he probably doesn't spend too much time on Twitter. He just like retweets a bunch of stuff. Not reading what it said, but Okay, yeah, he's not actively involved. Oh, there we go. He responded with a man shrugging to a tweet by Sinan Porty in February 2nd because the sign was like bring back Noah Winston. Alrighty. Very fascinating. Um Not gonna lie, Lost did his best, but he's no double lift. Lost. Yeah. Yes, that happened. You didn't know about that? I thought it was like quite public knowledge by this point, but yeah, I mean, I that's what happened. Worked out well for EG. They got Danny. Well, eventually they got Danny, but that was like the next. That was three splits. That was the next split. But that first split they were playing with. Uh, they were playing with Danny. With not Danny, Deathly. Danny was awesome. Yeah, he was. But just the fact that they were telling them, yeah, we're gonna send lost paper. Don't worry. Why are you worried, bro? And they're like, I don't know. Why didn't you send it? And it's like, yeah, you should have been worried. We're not sending the papers. We're planning on starting him because double lift. Like we're not signing double lift. There was some crazy stuff like that happening all the time, and I'm sure stuff like that still happens, but not as much. I feel like back in the day, stuff like that used to happen all the time. Nowadays, at least we don't hear much of it, you know? The most recent thing was like obviously Jojo Pune. Oh my god, I swear some of these players are never bound to succeed for some reason. They lack aura. Um, yeah, I feel like certain players like what's the word I'm looking for? Certain players don't have that dog in them. What's the dig roster looking like? Hey Vic, ready. Dude, we literally have no idea. We have no idea what Dignitas is doing. We only know that they got rid of Licorice and Sven. Besides that, I have no idea. Did you talk about Seus for support yet, Cloud, as the insane support import? Yes, I did. Seus is awesome. Seus is a CBLOL champion. He's won like 4 times or so with Loud. He made it to Worlds, made it to MSI, made it to all these internationals. He's good. There were times on that Loud roster where he was like the best support. Is he gonna be like better than Core and Busio? Like I don't think so, but he's gonna be like a top 4 support, top 3 or 4 support. And sure, like culture shock and like language barriers and stuff might hurt a little bit, but overall he's gonna be good. He's gonna be comfortable, and he's gonna bring a lot of fans with him. Literally, all of Brazil is gonna be fans of Shopify because we saved Seus. Because Seus was like on Kaboom, and Kaboom got kaboomed, and they were moving to tier 2 because they didn't get picked to be in part of the LTA South. And they were like, well, we have him on contract. We have a buyout for him. It's $1 million reais, which is about like 200K dollars, a lot less now that the dollar is higher, but like around 150 to 200K. And yeah, like Brazilians are going to be very happy that we saved him from playing a year on tier 2 because like the other teams couldn't afford to pay that much money for a buyout. Loud didn't even ask for him because they were like, yeah, his buyout's too expensive. We can't even like entertain this. So Shopify came in. We're like, you know what? We're gonna pick him up, and people are happy. Brazilian fans are happy. We're happy. So, um, definitely fake god, etc. Oh, that don't have that aura. Yeah, like all those talented players do so well in scrims, but they don't perform well when given the chance. Like how many chances they're gonna get? If Zeus leaves, bring back Impact. What? If Zeus leaves, bring back Impact. You take Impact over Keen. I don't know, man. Faker wins a 6th for Impact. Dude, Faker's just giving them out like candy. The third was for myself. The fourth was for like what was it for my team? The fifth was for my fans. The sixth is for my grandma. The seventh is for my dog. The sixth is for my cat. That's funny. Which LTA players believe they will win Worlds? What do you mean, Joseph? Which LTA player believes in themselves like that? You mean like that have that dog in them? They're like, yes, we will win Worlds. I think Bwipo. I think Bwipo genuinely believes he will win Worlds. I think Core genuinely believes they will win Worlds. Just hearing him talk. I think probably Impact, considering he's done it before. Um, Genuinely believe they will win Worlds. I don't know if Inspired believes he will win Worlds. I think he will try his damnedest, but I don't know that he thinks he will win Worlds. I don't think anyone from Brazil thinks they're going to win Worlds. Uh, yeah, I heard they spent 175K buyout for him. Whoa, that's a lot of money for an import. Like Quad was $0 buyout. Well, Quad wasn't a player. He had retired at that time, and he was like coming back into pro play, but he wasn't on a team. So I don't think he was even on a team for there to be a buyout. Also, that's not that much money for NA. Like, if you just think of Riot giving you $1.6 million to run your budget, right? You're taking 10% of that to pay a buyout, and then you still have 90% of your budget between B-Boy contracts, Fudge. Like, they're not expensive players. Even if you give each one of them 200K, let's say you're playing each one of your players 200K, that's $1 million. You're spending another $200,000 on your coaching staff. That's $1.2 million. And then you spend another $200,000 getting the buyout. That's $1.4 million. You're still making a profit. You're still in the green. You're not even spending your whole budget. You have another $200,000 to spend on content creators, to spend on this, spend on like creatives, on merch drops that will make you money back. Obviously, like you're chilling. So it's not that much money when you think of how much Riot is giving you. And then add into that like how much money you get from your emotes, and I don't know how much money you make off of that, but who knows. um Feels like for that much money they might be able to import a higher tier 80 carry, but I don't know what salary is. Mix B-Boy is a high tier 80 carry. B-Boy is a high tier 80 carry. B-Boy B-Boy was first all pro spring split, didn't even make it to playoffs. We've only had two players ever do that. Lyra and B-Boy. So yeah, I think people underestimate how good B-Boy was just because of how bad the team was. But he was really good. Yeah, the dog in them. Okay, if we're talking about dog in them, I think Inspired has that dog in them. I think Bwipo, I think Masu. I don't know about Busio or Quad just yet. I think Contracts. I think Contracts is one of those players. I don't think Dokla. I don't think Palaflox. I don't think Berserker. I think Sven. I think Sven has that dog in him. I would say JoJo, but he's not part of the LTA. I think Blabber, maybe? Actually, maybe not recently. Yeah, maybe Blabber. I'd put Blabber up there. I don't think Vulcan has that anymore. He definitely did in 2020 or 2019, but like not anymore, I feel like. Um what other players would I say have that dog in them? That when you look at them, you're like, oh snap, this person is like constantly improving and is gonna crush me. Like wants to fight. I think Yon definitely. I think APA, Yon, Core. I think Impact as well. I think like straight up just all of Team Liquid. I think that's probably most of them. I don't think anyone Immortals last year. NRG just contracts. Maybe Huhi at some points in his career had that dog in him, especially when he was playing mid lane. I felt like he had that. Uh, yeah, that's my list. Yeah, next one will be for Bin because BLG versus T1 in the final again next year. Rematch 3-0 BLG. Hell yeah, dude. I'm down for that timeline. That's how the story works. I hope so. I hope the story works that way. Remember, T1's Dynasty in 2022, they lost to DRX 3-2. Then they won Worlds 3-0. Then they won Worlds 3-2 again. Now BLG are going to lose 3-2 to T1, and then they're going to make it to Worlds next year and win 3-0, and then win 3-2 again. Oh, sorry, I meant support. To Impact, okay, what other better, okay. What better tier support mix are you going to get when support is the weakest we've seen it in a long time? You're not getting someone crazy like Lehens or like Missing or like any of these like crazy supports like a Mako. You're not getting. Yeah, who would you say, Mix, besides. Yeah, what's a high tier support that's available? B-Boy completely transformed Shopify? Agreed. I haven't seen Seos play. Yes, you have. Have you watched Worlds? Did you watch Worlds in 2023? Did you watch MSI in 2023? Then you have. You just don't remember. But you have seen him play. Maybe not in CBLOL. Uh, and I don't have too much faith in winning CBLOL back 4 times personally from what they've shown at Worlds. Well, I think that's unfair because the region was so far behind and they've caught up a lot. Like in the past 3 years, CBLOL has went from like we're not even contenders to like we were so close. We were so close. We beat they beat I'm pretty sure CBLOL beat EU in play-ins in 2023 and then this year they actually made it out. So like they've constantly been improving. So the whole region has been evolving. Yo, MGL, was there news on Shopify's mid? No, we have no idea. It's annoying. Just please tell us. We don't know anything about Dignitas. We don't know a lot about DSG, and we have no idea who the mid laner for Shopify is. I'm really hoping they keep Insanity. That's my like what's the word? That's what I would like. All of Fly have that dog in them. IMO series versus Gen G was sick. I agree, but like Quid has the nerve in him. Like Quid if Quid had a year where he didn't play with nerves, I agree. But the fact that his first split and Worlds, like he was very nervous. I don't know. I'd have to see a little bit more from Quid. If you told me before Worlds, I would say Quid for sure. I would say River. But River, the past 2 Worlds didn't look that great. And Quid as well, this Worlds like didn't look that good. Core JJ's 30-year-old people? A boomer? Ugh, dude, come on. He's still young. He's still young. He's like what, one year older than Faker? I'm pretty sure. Oh, he's 2 years older than Faker. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, he's a boomer. It's over for him. He's 2 years older than Faker. Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's over. Just GG, bro. A boomer. I think Sayers bio was kind of big though. Wasn't it like 170K? Again, like I said, it really isn't that big if you think about it. Even if it's 170K, you can still be running at a profit at CBLOL by paying every single one of your player and coaching staff $200,000. You're still in the green in terms of the budget that Riot gives you. Not even the internal budget. Just from the Shopify. Also, the amount of money the amount of fans that you just got by paying that 170K buyout is way worth. Like you get literally all of Brazil are fans of Shopify right now. T1 in 2022 lost MSI finals, lost World finals, then won Worlds in 2023, same as BLG, right? Lazy script. I love you, Flowers. Dude, I am running with that script every day of the week. Oh, snap. David is streaming. I haven't caught a stream in him for a while. We might actually end early today and hop on to David's stream. I wonder if I can host. I probably can't host on YouTube. The rumor I saw for Dig, I hated it, was trying Dig Adam? What? Okay, I did not see that, MGL. Dig Adam, that. Dude, how low must Adam's stock be that they straight up. Not a single team in Europe wanted him? That is crazy to me. Yeah, I got nothing besides spin the LCK Challengers lottery and put it on red. But maybe Sam sees something in Seus. Yeah, I think you instead of getting some unknown from a Challengers League, you get someone who's known from CBLOL. Maybe I'm just a CBLOL hater. I have a hard time seeing any CBLOL players being good besides B-Boy, who wasn't native. Let me ask you, Mix, did you watch Worlds this year? Did you see Titan, the AD carry? Literally, like even all BLG members were like, "Oh my god, Titan is is the best AD carry." Everybody was talking about this guy. Everybody. This guy was insane. Weiser was solo killing Impact. Weiser was playing really like he had a very good year. I think if you just watch Team Liquid. versus Pain. Watch Pain gaming throughout the plans. Watch Titan's streams of his in-houses. They do have really good teams. Very good players. Chinones, like Chinones is an amazing mid laner. I've been making the joke, but like Shopify should pick him up. If they don't, okay, if they're getting rid of Insanity, just pick him up. I don't think there's any other like mid laner that I would rather have than Chinones. First of all, you get like literally all of Brazil. Like Brazil would hate you because you pick up their player. So maybe it's not a good idea in terms of branding, but he's still like a really good player. So they do have like really legendary Brazilian players that are really good. BRTT was actually good. Jinkido didn't have the greatest performance, but Carioca was good. Wiser, like I would say, Wiser and Titan were very, very impressive. Dang, I didn't even know about that. Wait, let me read the other ones. Let's see how they do. How he does this year. Hope Shopify does well. I guess I'm just a CBLOL hater because I never remember them at internationals. We'll see. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with Seus. He was the shining star on some of those rosters on Loud. So I think you'll be impressed. Dig Adam sounds really cool. I'm not a fan, dude. Why are we importing Adam? Doesn't Adam tilt easy? Yeah, apparently he does not have a good personality. He's not worth an import spot. I'd rather see Castle back in the league or an import top. I mean, I'd rather see Surdy. I'll be honest. Like, why are we bringing in Adam instead of Surdy? That's what I would say. Like, if Surdy doesn't have a spot, but Adam does, like, why? At least give the man a shot. I guess you could be like, oh, we want Adam to be like our carry. I can see some arguments for it. Never mind. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but I personally would rather have Surdy with a bunch of like veterans than have Adam with a bunch of rookies. Personally, Titan was so impressive in Challenger Queue. The Gala even asked for a shirt swap with him. That is so cool. I didn't know about that, but yeah, dude, that guy is cracked. Titan is insane. No, yeah, Surdy deserves it. Yeah, I would rather just like look, I'm not against importing. I know this is like not the best take to have right now. I am not against importing, but import for a reason. Import good players. The reason I was against B-Boy was like, why are we getting rid of B-Boy when we have like Wild Turtle? And he was playing so good. B-Boy came and played better, don't get me wrong, but like, if we're importing Berserker, hell yeah. But if we're importing Thanatos over Fudge, like, that is such a small upgrade that I don't see it. Yeah, why do we have people like Loki and Mask and they're not? We're just betting on these rookies. Okay, maybe mid lane is a different thing because we had Quid and Quad, right? I think importing with a reason makes sense. But if you're importing just for the sake of importing, I don't like that. Now there was an opportunity where Zeus was going to go before he started on T1. He was going to go and join Vitality, and like Vitality was like, no. I think that's like in hindsight, that's crazy. You could have had Zeus. So I do think that importing is not bad. It's just I think very specific roles you can import in, and I think very specific reasons behind that. If you have like a super hyped rookie, sure, but Loki isn't a super hyped rookie, so why are you importing him? Thanatos, like sure, I guess, but he wasn't a Summit, right? I understand importing Summit. That guy was like destroying everybody. He had personality issues, but he was destroying everybody. That's an import I get. I get Core DJ. I get Impact. Those are the obvious ones. I get Unkti to some extent, honestly. Like even now, I'm not the biggest fan, but like he showed up, maybe not internationally, but he was good. So importing is I'm not against importing, but I'm against importing when there's no reason. Like if you don't go Insanity in the mid lane and you import like some random EU Masters for Scowie or something, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna call Shopify out on that. Be like, why? We already had someone who was good enough. We had people. If you're gonna import a top laner instead of Surdy, I'll be like, we have talent here. Why are you importing a random LCK top laner, LCK Challengers top laner instead of our own like hyped up rookies? At least give our rookies a shot. But where it does make sense was support. Like we really don't have good supports. Chime retired. Winsome, I think also isn't doing anything. So like those were our two best supports, and like they're gone, and support pool kind of sucks now. So I understand support, but like I don't know. I feel like we have some really good top laners. I feel like we have good AD carries. We have really good junglers. We have XU. We have UG. Like we have junglers. I don't want to see Dignitas importing a jungler. I would hate to see that. If Adam gets us to quarter, then I keep him here. Dude, Adam's not making worlds. Adam isn't getting to worlds. Okay, he didn't even make it to worlds on EU with a team that was good. I don't think he's making it to worlds. Adam Spica Jensen doesn't sound too inspiring though. Honestly, you play around Adam and you have everybody just like put all resources. Spica just camp top, and you get like a serviceable bot lane, and you just camp top. I could see that. Remember, IMT imported Ica? Yeah, like enough said. Remember what IMT did. Thank you, Vic, for reminding me that. I forgot about that. Yeah, like Blue, Ica, like those level of like Dignitas last split imported Rich. Not Rich. The mid laner was Dove. They imported Dove. Imagine importing Dove instead of Quad. Like just imagine this. Quad has an option between joining FlyQuest Challengers or Dignitas main team. I'm pretty sure he would have picked Dig. And yet, who did they? I'm just saying. Also, Dig brought Rich instead of my man Summit. Like, look at what Summit did. He beat NA. I don't know. It's just I feel like sometimes we're importing the wrong players. I'm not against importing when you need to. Just import the right players, please. I've seen people like Cuppy say that the mid lane pool in tier 2 isn't that good, which is why we only have one native mid at the moment. The thing is, all our good main laners retired, no? Because they didn't get a shot. Like, Palafox is the main one who really came up. Insanity and Palafox, right? And then you have Jojo who left. Then you have like Copy retired, Firefire retired. Like, yeah, I feel like Busio switched to support. Yeah, our mid laners just weren't getting shots because we've always historically always imported when we had good mid laners. So now that we don't have good mid laners, like we just now that we can start them, like all of them just left. They retired. Dove Mask Rich, the weirdest imports we've had recently. Well, maybe not Rich. I feel like Rich played pretty well. Apparently, he might get a team in the LCK. Ooh, I didn't know that. I think he deserved it. I think he was actually like the shining light of that roster, even though he didn't speak English and like it was kind of XU just doing whatever, XU and Tobo. But yeah, Adam had a down year for sure last year's, but was really scary in 2023 Worlds. I haven't forgotten that. And then Buppo's seal of approval tweet the other week thinks he deserves a spot in LCS or LEC. Okay, the way I read that, and I could just be like cynical. The way I read that was like, Adam is French. Buppo is going to Paris to play in the quarters. Let me make this tweet because French fans will love me because Adam is French. That's how I saw it. Maybe I'm being extra cynical, but again, that's how I saw that. I would put like zero weight onto that if I were you. Oh snap. Um, it would be cool if Ruler came to LTA. Oh my god, dude! I said this so many times. But if Shopify were to get like Lehens, I would get a ephemeral tattoo of them of Shopify. Like they're yeah, I think it would be really cool for Ruler to come. I think he would be like the type of person to like elevate the league, right? So, but what team would he go? Like, would you get rid of Yon for Ruler? Absolutely, but I would rather have like as right now. But I'd rather develop Yon, so like that's not going to be on the table. I think it would be really cool. I don't know what team he goes on though. Maybe 100 runs back FBI. Does FBI okay? Would it be FBI Huhi or would it be FBI Ayla? I would be down for FBI Huhi. I don't know that I'd be down for FBI Ayla. I don't want my man's FBI to be like completely inted by Ayla, because Ayla had some lanes. I'll say that he had some interesting lanes. Um, I've been trying to keep up with LCK rumors. I see. That's cool. I can get my LCK rumors from you, MGL. Fair to be cynical, I just don't see Bippo as Turbo Politician 9000 like how Cadril is with his persona on stream, cooking EU and Jackie's, etc. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I don't know. I feel like if I went to Paris and I wanted the team to be on my side, which I definitely would, if I was in the World Quarterfinal, regardless of location, I would make some sort of tweet to make the people like cheer for me, or a video or something. Like how Cadril would pander to his base like a politician. Yeah, dude, Cadril is so funny. He tries to be so neutral, so neutral. What the hell happened on my? I stabbed myself and now it's like the blood clot, but I don't know. Like he speaks his truth and he is antithetical to being a politician and saying nice things about France. I don't know. It could be like a PR thing. Like maybe he did hang out with Adam and he had a nice conversation and his girlfriend was like, "Oh, why don't you tweet something nice? That way like France will cheer for you guys." It could have been not his idea. Core JJ Ruler, I've seen that somewhere that somewhere before. What I would pay to see that bot lane again. Yeah, for that reason, I really despise Cadril for that politician turbo neutral or pandering attitude, but that's a topic for another day. Really, you despise Cadril? I don't mind him. I like his videos. I don't necessarily watch his streams or anything, but I do like the videos that he comes like when he had that whole series during the off season. Not the off season, between worlds. Talking about the players and the teams and had like different experts come onto his channel. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't I don't like his personality when it comes to streaming. Like the way he's just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, they're gonna lose the guys, they're gonna lose the game. Don't TP, Faker's gonna TP, Faker's gonna TP. Like I just don't like that type of energy. Honestly, I much prefer like I will dominate his co-stream or something like that. I just don't prefer him yelling into a microphone the same thing over and over and over again. That's just not my personal bias, I guess. Yeah, for that reason, I read that. Nah, Bippo was definitely in the wrong during his EU streams. Went beyond speaking his truth. Absolutely, dude. Okay, it's so embarrassing to go on public and to go publicly flame players and be like, I went overboard. I apologize to them privately. Don't do that. I apologize privately to the people that I thought deserved an apology. Go public and apologize. Like that's dishonest. He was insulting people directly. Absolutely, yeah. He went way overboard. He went way overboard. I agree. It's a personal thing. Like, look, people make mistakes. He should publicly apologize. That's my take on it. You publicly insulted people. Publicly apologize, and then we move on. Like this stuff happens. We're all adults. We understand things happen. We move on. A personality thing. Just don't like people being dishonest about things. What people personally value varies. What do you mean dishonest about things? Mix. I lost you there. Oh, you mean Cadril. Okay, you're not talking about Bippo. Okay. I think you mean Cadril. If you mean Cadril, then I understand what you mean. Yeah, I think he's just trying to be entertaining. I think that's what Cadril's trying to do. He's trying to be entertaining and he doesn't want to like cause any problems or anything. Has David started his stream yet? Oh, okay. The crossover podcast has started. Raz is streaming too. Look at all these streams, brother. We were just complaining about how pro players aren't streaming. Jensen started his stream. What's his name? Raz started a stream. David started his stream as well. We got like a bajillion. What is Raz playing? What is Ace Attorney Investigation 2 Prosecutor's Gambit? What is that game? I have no idea. All right, I think I'm gonna like Cadril being well. Okay, I missed like a bajillion messages. To be fair, I will dominate yells similarly as well. Every streamer has the element in some moments. He doesn't repeat like the same thing 10 times. I find that so frustrating. It's like he's gonna TP like that Faker play at MSI when he game one against G2. He's gonna TP. He's gonna TP. Faker's gonna TP. The base. He's gonna TP. He's gonna TP. Like for 30 seconds, he's just yelling that he's gonna TP. I'm like, dude, I understood it from the first time. I swear. Pandering big fan bases, KC, etc. Don't like that. Yeah, honestly, I completely understand it. He called out KC fans. He did. He is pandering though. Yes, he panders, but like when people go above board, he does call them out. Yo, is this guy really playing Ace Attorney? I literally see him watching anime. Is he watching Black Clover? He's literally watching Black Clover. And his stream title is Ace Attorney Investigation 2. What is Raz doing? All right, I gotta hop into his chat in a little bit. And David, I want to catch the crossover podcast. Um, I wonder if Jensen will get a job this year. Raz has been popping off. Ooh, I don't know. I didn't catch any of his streams, so. Oh, he was watching one of the openings. Okay, okay. He wasn't just watching anime. I was like, what the hell? Who are your favorite pro streamers? I don't really watch streamers, to be honest. And my favorite pros don't really stream. I guess my favorite pro that does stream is Blabber. Inspired doesn't stream, so he can't be my favorite pro streamer, but I'd say Blabber in that case. I think the person I watch the streams the most are Blabber and Spica when they stream. Yeah, I think those are the two main streamers that I watch. Spica streams pretty consistently. Kajol is the number one Twitch stream past month. He is not going to go on turbo rants on players and cause them massive issues. Yeah, that's fair. He knows what he's doing. Like he definitely knows. Getting that big, you kind of need to play the line and know exactly what you're doing. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go catch some streams because apparently there are a couple good cool streams. I want to hang out, maybe see what this game is about for Raz, and then catch the crossover podcast, and then I will. I'll see you guys. What's today? What, Monday? No, today's Wednesday. I'll probably see you guys next week. But I got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm starting 2 podcasts next year, not just one. A Shopify specific podcast that won't be on my channel, but I'll let you guys know where it will be. And then a LTA general podcast, which will be with Martin Media from Esports. That one I'm really excited. I'm excited for both of them. I will have a Shopify show. Yeah, I got a lot of cool content coming out. Disputing Everything's gonna be there. We're gonna have a lot more than just interviews, and I think that's fun. It's cool. So yeah, have a good night, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out. Joseph, it's nice to see you more often. I think earlier as well, Vic, and obviously everybody like MGL, Flowers, Mix. Thanks all for hanging out, and I'll see you guys.